Hey guys, welcome to another Team Tour Tuesday. This time we've got a 400 point team. We haven't done anything higher than 300 points in a while. And this is my Martian Manhunter Choco Bomb team, not sponsored by Oreos. It's like we went over yesterday. We've got the Martian Manhunter on our team that says at the beginning of the game, generate 5 light objects named Choco, and your opponent places them. And then he gets bonuses for them being on the map and takes damage. It's a whole big complicated thing. We went over all that yesterday. So this is a team that lays really heavy into items. It's all about the items with these guys. So that does mean we are playing Sakaarian Iron Man because he cares about his items, and this is a fun way to put all that on the map. So we won't go into Martian Manhunter. He was in yesterday. We'll flip over his card real quick after I drop it and just show off his stats. He's a big melee piece with a good move and attack always. He's got shape change on his top dial. He's just kind of a really good piece. Go watch our video yesterday if you really want to go into him. One thing we do need to mention is that we are playing the New York Harbor Rubble Map bonus. So for 5 points, you get 3 extra items, or you have the ability to generate more items by putting characters next to one of the rubble spots on that map. If you win map roll, we are not theme, so we probably won't win map roll, which, just to say at the start of the game, if we do not win map roll, we start with 3 items. One of them is the cloak. So we have 2 standard objects. We get 3 more from this thing if we don't win map roll. So we're up to 5. We get 3 more because we're playing Sakaarian Iron Man. We're up to 8. Then our opponent places 5. So we're at 13. There are 13 objects on the map at the start of the game. Pretty good. I like it. We have some shenanigans in there, but we have very good item utility just for Iron Man. So we will go into Sakaarian Iron Man. I've used him a lot, and he is a meta piece, so you probably know what he does. But if you don't know, he says at the start of the game, you can generate 3 standard objects anywhere on the map that are at least 5 points from one another. And whenever he picks up a standard object, instead of him carrying it, you place it on his card. And whenever he is dealt some amount of damage, he takes 1 unavoidable and you break one of his objects. He gets a +1 to all of his stats for every object on his card, and then at the beginning of your turn, you can choose a standard speed or attack power, and he gets to use that until your next turn. Other than that, he has a Outwit and Perplex down these, and then he just has Perplex. He's a really good piece. Getting him the Cloak of Levitation early is very important, and that is one of the reasons we are playing this Polaris. We would be playing Venom Magneto, but I don't have that on me. David has it. This is a very good, cheap option. So he can sidestep on turn 1 and have 2 objects on his card. Is pretty good. We like the Sakaarian Iron Man. Just a very good piece. The next piece I'm going to go over is Egg. Move Martian. Egg. So Egg's on here, not for his first trait, which just says when a friendly character is chosen for the Krakoan Revival trait after resolutions, you may generate 3 light objects in a square adjacent to them. In the comics, Egg is one of the ones that makes the eggs that constantly allow the X-Men to revive. We don't have a Krakoan Revival on our team. We do have a good number of X-Men, which is kind of funny. But we need him for this special damage power, which is just free, generate a light object. Which he has on his first 3 clicks. 5 clicks for 25 points, not bad. He's got sidestep so he can move around. He's just there to give you more objects, and maybe put some barrier up so you can defend your better pieces. But for 25 points to every turn generate a light object because it's free, very important. Now I know you're asking yourself, Jordan, why are we generating light objects? There's got to be a reason, right? Well, the first reason is risk, which we are playing 2 risks. This is from the X of Swords organized play boosters. She has a special attack power that's telekinesis and power. Choose an unheld object within range and line of fire. Deal 2 damage to all opposing characters within 2 squares of that object. Then remove it from the game. She also has stealth and super senses willpower on a defensive ability. She also has the shield team ability, but she has that attack power all the way down, and she has stealth. So basically all of these objects become mines, including the cookies. So while you have Martian Manhunter and Sakaarian Iron Man hypersonic speeding around, punching everything, being really hard to get rid of with the shape change, with his cracking the objects, you're blowing up unheld objects, and we're again at base 13, plus Egg can make them every turn. If you outwit a damage power with Sakaarian Iron Man, you can turn off that and then just nuke people. And their TK allows you to get objects in range of like a good target to just like mass blow up. It's kind of cool just to have that energy explosion-esque effect. And since you don't have to roll for it, you just do it. It's pretty cool. And then harder to deal with pieces obviously fall under the control of Sakaarian Iron Man and Martian Manhunter to get rid of. 7 on stealth is pretty good, and then 7 to force blast. So one of the risks can force blast somebody, and then the other risk can blow up an object next to them or within range of them and deal that damage. And if we want to shoot with Sakaarian Iron Man or Martian Manhunter, because they're both big range, we've got shield team ability to increase that range, increase that damage. They also work really well with this static shock. This static is my favorite static because there are only like 3 in existence, and this one is the most show accurate one. We're playing him at 65 points, so he does come in with gear, and gear gives you perplex, but only to target himself or static. Just an extra piece and some more lives. But the main reason we want him is his trait of using the environment. So when he uses telekinesis, which he can use as free, but only to pick up an object and then be given a range object action. So he can TK one of these objects and fling it at somebody. Seems pretty good. He's got running shot. He's got sidestep later down on that. We'll go flip over his card. Running shot on his top dial. Then we've got pulse wave as well. So we've got a good AoE and super senses. You run him up next to risk, grab one of the objects that's within his range of 5, and then fling it at somebody else. And then you'll hit. You can do up to 5 damage with that. And then pop another object. He's just really good to make use of these items that we're constantly making. And I wanted an excuse to build this static. This one is better than the old static from the old Teen Titans set because he actually has keywords. But I like him for just throwing objects around on the map, plus the sculpt is kind of sick. The last piece on the team that is utility is the Hellfire Gala Polaris. That is some mad glare. The only reason we are playing her, none of these abilities, right? It's Hellfire Gala stuff. If you get the 5s, it doesn't really happen because you don't really get the setup. But once per turn, if for all characters of this trait, when a friendly character with the X-Men keyword attacks and the attack roll includes exactly 1 5, you can replace it with another 5. These 3 are X-Men, so that might come up on an attack, but you shouldn't be making attacks with risk. You should be blowing up your landmines. And then she has, when friendly characters of the X-Men keyword hit and a 5/5 was rolled, after resolutions, choose a character within range and place that character up to 2 squares away from the square they currently occupy. So these do come up maybe sometimes. If you roll a 5, you replace a double 5, and then that triggers her high fashion trait, and then you push somebody towards an object, and then you blow up that object with the other one. She's also full dial outwit. We are only playing her at 40 points. So we've got another one to counter those defensive abilities, so risk can landmine more bombs. We flip that over. This is the main reason why we're playing her, is she's 5 more points than Venom Magneto, but she has telekinesis, and telekinesis as free, and when you use it, you can target an opposing character if you hit with her this turn. So she has old TK in that aspect, which is kind of cool. But the TK and then the TK is free, meaning Sakaarian Iron Man for free gets his cloak turn 1. And then she can TK him out to actually go do stuff. So if your turn 1 is the second turn of the game and you want to go punch somebody, you can acquire 2 objects when you do that and have at least 8 squares of distance. So it's pretty good. You can move Martian Manhunter around, have him go pick up CHOCOs. You can move Static around. She's just really good for utility, and I like her more on this team than Venom Magneto, especially for those Hellfire Gala traits, because there's a small X-Men synergy here. But this is kind of just a fun, not themed team based around just the objects, pieces that can manipulate objects. I know there's a bunch more out there. If you guys have any suggestions on stuff that we could use to modify this team, that would be great. I do really want to play this team. However, today is our Christmas game, so I will be playing my Christmas team. But that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for next video, which will be a mission points video. So look out for that. Again, we always appreciate any feedback we have on our videos. We like it when you guys leave comments, when you share us with your community, get new subscribers out there, get people into Heroclix. Until next time, guys, take it easy.